Hey everybody, it's Mr. Florida Flipper and we're out here in the garage, and today I wanted to talk about storage units. So I actually recently got into the storage unit buying experience with my cousin. So we both together went out and started buying some storage units. We bought two, and next time I go, I definitely will bring you guys along so you can see exactly what it's like and see if we find anything amazing. Of course, every time we hope we do. But we actually, for the first time, we bought these two storage units, I want to say probably 2 months ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. One pretty much back to back. I think we bought one, and then about 3 weeks later, we bought another one. And it's been about 2 months ago now that we've bought them both. And we finally hit break even. So we've made more money than we've spent on the storage units, which I'm going to do a little breakdown today over those storage units. And we're going to pick some of the orders we sold. And one of those things that we sold came from the storage unit. So that's why I felt like it was a good time to do this video. Sorry if I sound a little different or I don't look well. I've been sick, unfortunately, for the past week with the flu. So it's not been fun. So if you're out there with the flu, I feel for you. I know how it feels. Not fun. But let's go ahead and get into some items that we have gotten from the storage unit and how it went. So let's go over the storage units first. So the first storage unit we bought, I'm going to try to see if I can find it. And if I can, it'll put a little picture over here in the corner of what it kind of looked like. And I'll probably blow it up a little big so you can see what it kind of looked like. I don't know if I'll still be able to go back and find those pictures. I should actually. So yeah, I was able to find those pictures. So yeah, the first storage unit we bought was for $250. And the second storage unit we bought was $290. So, and I'll have that one up there as well so you can kind of see what it looked like. But like I said, today we're going to go over some of the items we got, and then I'm going to show you some stuff that sold for the day. We bought them on Storage Treasures. And on Storage Treasures, you pay a fee to Storage Treasures for using their website, basically, for the storage units, using their website to spread the word on these auctions to get more bids. And it's a kind of an interesting process for sure. If you don't have like any kind of membership, they have like a $10, $20, and a $30, maybe a $40 or $50 membership, where the fee you pay Storage Treasures is smaller. But you know, this is our first time, so we didn't do it. But it would have saved us about probably over $100 right now if we would have done it, if we would have just done the $10 one. So definitely something that we're thinking about for the next one. But it's kind of interesting because they employ the method that if there's any bids within the last 3 minutes, it resets the bid timer at least to 3 minutes. And I think it usually goes up to like 5 minutes, depending on how many bids become in that time frame. So if there's like two bids back to back, the timer can go up to like 5-10 minutes. And then it keeps resetting. So there's a soft close at the 3 minute mark if there's any bids. But not to go too in the weeds on that. But on the screen, I'm going to take a little break and I'm going to show you guys some of the things we found and what we've already sold. It was pretty good. At first, the first unit, let's just say that is a story all in its own. That unit was probably the worst unit you could ever buy. For one simple reason, it had roaches, cigarettes, smell in all the clothes, and it was a disaster. Just food, dirty, stinky, nasty, rotten food. That it was bad. Mind you, this is our first time ever buying a storage unit. My cousin doesn't do any reselling, so I kind of got him into this. He has a truck, so I'm like, me and you, we'd make a good combo. I can do the eBay stuff, you can haul the big stuff, and that was the plan. I was going to sell the higher value items on eBay, you know, mostly the smaller items, and he would sell the bigger items on Facebook Marketplace. So we'd kind of work as a team there, and we'd split all the money. So that first unit we went and got, we were really excited, of course. It's our first unit. We fly the door open, literally roaches start scurrying out. It was disgusting. Instantly, I knew it was going to be bad. My cousin had brought two of his buddies from work too to help us. And they were kind of our cheerleaders, really, because pretty much right away, both of our moods went way down, as you can imagine. But they were like, you can sell this for this. You can sell that for that. You guys are going to do good. You're going to do good. And I was thankful that they were there, because if they weren't, we probably would have been throwing all the stuff in the dump. But we did it. We went through. I mean, just the amount of food that we found in there was insane. And like spoiled food. I picked up a garbage bag that was black on the bottom, dripping, with flies, little gnats, fruit flies flying out. We found some paraphernalia. Yeah, some little baggies, a little bit of residue in it, if you catch my drift. But just a lot of different stuff. It was definitely, and the cigarette smell. That was another thing. The cigarette smell was out of control. I smoke. I know it's bad. You can judge me. I'm sorry. But I never smoked inside my house. I don't smoke inside my car. I smoke outside. I don't even smoke at work at all, at my normal 9 to 5. I only smoke when I get home. So those people smoked every single day of their lives in that house because every single thing smelled like cigarette smoke. And if you don't know, cigarette smoke is so hard to get out of clothing. And that's where we actually found a lot of our value. There was actually my cousin, he went through all the clothing, he laid all of it out in the driveway, sorted through it all, tried to find brand names that he knew that might be good. And we actually found a few things. We sold a couple things for a decent amount of money. The rest of it he ended up taking to what is it called? Here it's called Plato's Closet. I don't know if that's a chain that's everywhere, but it's basically like a thrift store, clothing store where they buy used clothes and sell them. And he took about, I think it was like 40, or he said, I know it was 100. I think it was like 100 items of clothing, and they took 2, and they gave him $5. So that didn't work out. But then he actually brought me all the clothes that he didn't have sold or that they didn't take. And we found a pair of jeans that sells for like $50. Another pair of jeans I think that sells for 40. A whole bunch of different pairs of jeans that sell for about 20. That was kind of my cap. I told him for any clothes that I was going to try to sell on eBay, they have to go for at least $20 because it's just not worth your time taking pictures, the measurements, and doing all that work for clothing, in my opinion, to sell it for less than $20, especially like a pair of jeans. If I do it $20 free shipping, the shipping is going to be about $8 to $10. And you know, obviously the cost for us is just what the unit costs, and we already got our money back on that. So, you know, the rest of the $10 is basically profit, but I split it with my cousin, so we both get $5. You know, after eBay fees, maybe we get $3.50 each or something like that. So that's why I said $20 is the minimum that I will sell for, no less than that. But so we found a decent clothes that they didn't find. So I kind of told them, I said, I wonder what they actually took. I wish you could have known, because that was probably worth $100. Because if they wouldn't take a pair of jeans that sells for $50, then they probably would have taken something that sells for $100. So, you know, but we didn't worry about that. We let it go. But yeah, he washed it all. I mean, we spent so much money. He probably spent so much money in laundry detergent and stuff. But it's our first unit, so we wanted to get every single dime out of it that we could. And like I said, we've made our money back, and now we're in the profit on both units. Anything we sell going forward is straight profit. So really nice. Besides the roaches and everything, the biggest thing that we learned from that first unit too was there was we thought it might have been a futon bed, which my cousin said that he could sell it pretty quickly, that he sold one before. But it was actually just a couch. It was a big wooden couch, which you'll see it in that picture. That we couldn't sell that thing. The material on it had like that fake leather for the seat cushions, and it was ripped, which you couldn't see it in the picture. No, we couldn't sell that thing for, I think he had it for like $10 or $15 at one point, and no one took it. So he had to put it out by the side of the road. There was a mattress in there. Obviously, mattresses are just basically garbage. No one wants to buy a used mattress. I wouldn't, you know, unless you're really hard up. And if you're really hard up, I think there's places you can go to get mattresses for a lot cheaper than what we could sell it on Facebook. You know, even if you sold it for $10, I wouldn't want to take the chance selling somebody a mattress. If it had bed bugs, I wouldn't want to take it in my house, honestly, like even in my garage. But he spent time cleaning that couch, man. He vacuumed it, wiped it all down. There was also a recliner in there that we did end up selling for about $25. It was a nice recliner. I mean, it had some worn in it and everything like that, but nice. There was a keyboard stand we sold for $25, and a couple other things. I'll show you some of the eBay stuff that we sold, some of the higher dollar ones. And I'll also show you some of the other items that we still have from that first storage unit. So I looked around, and really I don't have that much left from that second storage unit, or from that first storage unit. We pretty much sold everything from that already. But this is just one of the funny things. I kept this. It's a drug test kit. So it kind of fit the theme of that unit. They definitely, the parents or whoever needed to be drug testing themselves for sure. I found that they sell for there was like 15 of those things, and I found that they sell in a lot of, you know, for like maybe $15. I said I'll put it up there and see if anyone buys. It's been a while now, so I probably just end up throwing them out. But I also found a few phones. I think we found about 4 or 5 phones, and these two are the only ones we have left. One's a Vortex, you know, no name brand, and then this one's a Samsung. They both don't work. I don't remember them working. I can't really remember, but I for sure know like they don't power on or anything. And these phones can still sell for a little bit of money. I've sold all of them except for these two. Like I said, we had 5. Usually for about $20 to $30 is what I sell them if they're not working or turning on, because people can reuse the glass, the cameras. I know for iPhone it's a little different, because so be careful if you buy like used iPhones, especially the newer ones, because I think Apple, they started a thing now where the if it has Find My iPhone turned on, it'll actually, even if you change the camera out, like if you took this camera and put it onto another phone because this one isn't working, the camera won't work because they've like restricted it. The same thing with like the touch screen, the glass, everything. It's really crazy how they've done that. I think that's really not right. I think we should have the right to repair our products ourselves if we have the knowledge to do so. So I'm definitely against that, but just be careful if you buy iPhones. I'm not sure about Samsung or anything like that. Like I said, I haven't had a problem. I've actually sold, there was 3 of these that I got from that unit, and I've sold all of them except for this one so far. Let me know if you want to know more about that first storage unit. Like I said, I'm going to have some things running through here of what we've already sold from that unit. And I think next video we'll go over some of the stuff that I've already sold from the second unit. But I'll go ahead and show you what we have left from that second unit. This thing we thought was going to be a really good seller. When I first looked it up when we were at the storage unit, I saw somebody had it listed for like 190, I think. But after we looked at the solds, they sell for about 50, maybe 60 bucks. Probably will sell more during Christmas time, but it's a Nightmare Before Christmas lounge fly. So pretty cool, still has the tag, still nice and new. Just had to wipe it down and it was a little dusty from being in the storage unit. But great. And I have one more item I have to show you that we sold from this second storage unit, but I'm saving it till the end, so watch the end to see it. But we're going now to what sold this today. And we sold this Jordan, what is it called exactly? Air Jordan 12 Retros. This is a whatnot grab. I actually wore these for a little bit before I listed them because I liked them so much. They're my size. They're really nice shoes, really good condition. I like the purple. It kind of shows a little blue on here, but it's actually like a little reflective purple. They're really nice. Pair of shoes here. Let me show you. Put that in there correctly here. But yeah, just some nice pair of shoes. You know, anything Jordan sells really well, especially if it's in good condition with the box, which usually that's how I buy all my things. I had these listed for 140, 160, and they just shoes have not been selling for me as good as they were selling for me. Every pair of shoes I pay less than 60 bucks, I would say. That's like the maximum I'd pay. If I had to guess, I think I paid about $40 for these, and we ended up selling them for $110. So I've been bringing the prices down on my shoes, definitely not buying as many. For some reason, the shoe market's just not doing as good, or the way I'm listing them maybe, who knows what it is. But yeah, sold these for $110 plus the eBay shipping because they will get authenticated. So don't worry about, I'm not selling fake shoes. They all get authenticated if they go for more than $75. So we sold that. Let's see what else. Okay, and then we sold, this is one thing I wish I wouldn't have sold, honestly. I wish I would have just saved it for my garage sale I'm about to have, because of the shipping, and I just didn't get as much value as I thought I was gonna get. I bought this on Whatnot. I think I spent $10, but it came with this little drill set, which is missing a lot of the drill bits up there, as you can see, but it has most of them. Then it came with this drill with the battery, still works, and the charger. And then I ended up selling it for $35, and I think free shipping. The shipping on this, I mean, this thing probably weighs 5 pounds, and this doesn't weigh much, maybe a pound, and that probably weighs a pound or 2. I'm probably gonna make like nothing. I'm gonna lose money, honestly. You know, that's part of being a reseller though. You make bad decisions or list it too low just to try to get rid of it. I should have just probably sold it at a garage sale. That way I wouldn't have had to pack it up, you know, at least I would have saved me that hassle. But I definitely got a little bit more money out of it than I would a garage sale, but now I have to do the work. Just thought that it would be worth a little bit more. I mean, but it is in rough condition. It's got a little schmutz on it there, but you know, it's got a little wear right there. But nothing major, it still works. But yeah, so sold that for $35, free shipping, I think. But I'll have that in the video if it was more. Hopefully we got some shipping maybe out of it. Next thing we sold was this HGST hard drive that I pulled out of a laptop. I think I told you guys in one of the last videos, I bought a few laptops and I've been parting them out. That's the best way to make your money. Maybe there's some Bitcoin on there. That's what a lot of people say, you know, they buy these old parts for us to try to find like crypto, even though crypto has taken a big dump recently. So $12 free shipping on that. And then the last little item here is this taking things apart phase. And this came out of a printer, a Brother printer. It's been a while since I've sold any printer parts, but I sold this for $16.50, free shipping. It'll probably I'll probably be making maybe 10 bucks after everything's said and done on that. Maybe 8, honestly. But honesty is what the policy, but $8 is $8. Don't let any other reseller tell you that it's not worth it. If you have it, you might as well sell it, or just if you're throwing it away, you're getting nothing. So I got money out of it, and I've made money on my printers times over before. So yeah, sold that. And then the last item that we sold, which came from the storage unit that we bought, the second storage unit actually, is this little number here. I'll try to show you a little bit. See if you can guess what brand it is. Let's see, show you here. Got a little snag there. This is a Chanel, as the brand suggests. Oh, there's a little snag here. Break that snag. There we go. The Chanel scarf, and it has the tag still. Try to show you that. It's barely hanging on there. Let's see. Yeah. Chanel, made in Italy. Ooh. Made in Italy. But yeah, it's nice. You know, it's a really nice, and it's really nice because we sold it for $160. Listed for $160, sold for $160 in less than a month, I believe. So a very nice come up on that. That really helped us out. This is the actual item that brought us back into the green. And it's our most expensive item we've sold. The most profit, I guess you would say, that we've made on one item. So yeah, just a, you know, nice little scarf there. Took some really good pictures of it, you know, made sure, had it really nice, you know, it didn't stink. Luckily that second unit didn't stink like cigarettes, so smells good, looks good. $160. So that is going to do it though, guys. For me, I hope you enjoy. Keep a lookout for items like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Mr. Florida Flipper, out.